PLANO, it was their map pick, so they will be starting on the T side, understandably. Looking at the investments, we have the Super Soldier for B-Wills, dualies in hand, smoke flash for Jeorge, and no kit present for the CT side. And on the other side of the equation, we have another Super Soldier of a different kind, P250 Kevlar for KNG to start things out for the Ts.
And PDI has one as well. There's double P2s out for PLANO, so they are definitely going for the outer yard blitz, getting all the control through hell already, and gonna wrap down towards ramp. It seems all of the Nouns players got stuck on the A site, and PLANO have themselves a free entry down to B, but Cxzi's dropped down the fence, and he's popped 2 heads. Cxzi stepping up in the early going. Bomb gonna try and go downhill. Jeorge crossing through the opening, and he will pick up JazzPimp, was trying to come through decontamination, but Cxzi has not been cleaned out yet. He is still harassing the players of PLANO, not letting them get the bomb down. Cynics come through, the door goes open, the bomb goes down, it's Cxzi for 3, and make it 4. Nouns with the pistol, and they are off to a fiery start. And if you are Nouns, you want to see Danny stepping up early, and when it comes down to aim, he's one of the best in North America. He definitely shows up here, where pistols are all about the headshots.
Yep, it could not be cleansed out of decontamination. Very well done from the newest member of the Nouns squad to shut down the aggressive player from PLANO. We're seeing that kind of classic aggressive style that comes from Brazil being displayed very early in this map, but unfortunately it doesn't even net the bomb plant. That means PLANO, they're going to be on a rough save here. A Deagle, a P250, and realistically a dream here, but they have started things off well. Cynic, the IGL, crossing towards Big Red with no utility to support, is dinked down. He needs to be very careful here on this angle. He has found 2 kills thus far, but Yell has dropped his support. JazzPimp, the man we highlighted, taken down by a nice 1 dig. So Cynic, he's not out of the danger zone as of yet. He still has to pensively dance around, but it looks like he will be given some breathing room at the very least. Maybe not. 2 players now grouped up towards the outside yard. And a third on the Marshmallow. Pete comes in, Cynic at range with that M4, is looking to suppress and keep the space between them. Cxzi, though, he's here to support in the back lines. He's found 1, and now there's only 2 remaining. Iria on the Deagle, trying to find the headshot, will get some damage in, but Cynic in the meanwhile drops Cxzi. And now it's just PDI. The MP9 is going to run him down. No bullets left in the magazine, and so he will fall without much fight. Nouns take the second round as expected, but there was a decent bit of damage done by PLANO in that one, given the minimal investment.
Yeah, a decent amount of damage done. Now they only got 1 kill, which I think they would have been hoping for more. It does actually get another rifle into the hands of Nouns, which is a better thing, considering it's still going to be... Actually, never mind. Cynic's got no money left over in the bank. So it's not going to be a great bonus for Nouns, despite that success of keeping 4 alive. The AKs, the Galil's out. Utility a little bit sparse, though, for PLANO. 3 players as of this point, only having 1 piece of utility each. 2 players on 2. Now only 1, as Cxzi has used that smoke. Some ramp control being pressured for PLANO, but Jeorge is up close and personal with the MP9, and it's a good spot. I believe he's boosted up outside. Yes, he is. That's a good spot to use the SMG with support from Cynic back at ramp. It's a spot he likes to play, usually with the op and not with the rifle. He withholds the Molotov and backs away, but here's the MP9's turn. Out go the flames, and down go 3. JazzPimp's come through to support as well. Actually helps the outside player, leaving Cxzi kind of isolated and alone as PDI falls as well. Cxzi in a 1-on-4, nothing doing. Back-to-back, 4 people alive for Nouns. And they look still kind of stoic right now. It is very early days, but you have to be very happy with that result so far if you're Nouns. I mean, you keep 4 alive on the bonus round. You get 2 kills with the MP9. It's the only gun you lose. You get some AKs out of it as well. That bank on the CT side, at least for 2 players, starting to look very, very good. And already a timeout being forced out of the PLANO squad as they return to the pistols.
It's a massive confidence builder. For a team like Nouns, that can be huge. For any NA team in general, confidence tends to be a really big factor. And especially for a young team like this with players like Cxzi really getting activated early on in that pistol round, etc. That was the first real trial. Not even a trial, I would say. That was a round that they were meant, I dare say, destined to lose against a team like PLANO with a bunch of veterans. But PLANO very quickly commit to that ramp play. They get caught by the utility and the MP9 from above. That is kind of a novel angle that won't be unchecked, I guess, for the rest of this map, probably. PLANO should be clearing that very dutifully now that they've seen it so early on.
First time.
They most certainly should have, but the Molotov and the second player might have baited them in. Very well done from Nouns, though. To take a round they probably shouldn't have, and that really does give them a lot of confidence going into this. A nice 3-0 start. PLANO now on the back foot again. No bomb plant to be spoken of. It's going to be pistols once more. Kevlar, Tech 9s, Deagles. and maybe an aggressive play out towards A if the timing's right or if it suits them. Nouns have to be ready for this.
They look ready for the A-pop. There's a couple flashes, though. A smoke will be used outside, but it's all part of a fake. Cxzi drops off on top of Hut. Instead, he'll play around Tetris and actually smoke off front. They're going to go for a Hut pop, though. So much damage by B-Wills. He picks up a pair. KNG will strike, but in comes Danny to save the day. JazzPimp through Mini will shut down the keys. Pidia, the one lurking outside, has a deagle in hand, and not much of an opportunity to do anything at all. It's the deep smoke wall, but it was all part of a fake, which Nouns did not bite at. Oh, actually, Jeorge almost just gets caught from heaven. JazzPimp, a little aggressive, does go down, as a matter of fact. So a couple of kills, not too shabby for PLANO. No bomb plant yet, though. 4 rounds in is an issue for their economy. They will still get AKs in full utility. KNG thinking about the op. Cynic does have one of his own now. So there is that to keep in mind. And KNG will pick that up too. So Opera's duel will start here on round number 5. And historically, you have to favor KNG. But Cynic's got himself a good start here. 5-0 to kick things off. We'll see if the North American IGL, the young IGL out of North America, as a matter of fact, can counter with the ramp room push from KNG. The op shot, the Molotov, both players missing. Cynic backing out. He will be able to survive as KNG puts it right between his legs. And unfortunately, it's not a football because he would have had a nutmeg that way and probably would have been able to get past the defense. But no, this is Counter-Strike, not soccer or football. And instead, you need to be able to hit the other people.
And now they realize they most certainly do. Jeorge, he might have been unchecked there. It looked like they were kind of falling away, not expecting that player in the close corner. I was a bit worried for PLANO, but Jeorge does convey his presence with that utility. He gets control of Trophy Room, though, as well, so aggressive stance for the CT side as PLANO very quickly change gears. They realize the op was inside, so they'll go towards the outside yard. The op has rotated around up towards heaven, but PLANO should be able to cross with that deep smoke with relatively little issue. JazzPimp, though, he's lurking around. If PLANO pick up the pace, they might broadcast their play here. Cxzi towards Africa is looking to hold things down, though, as is KNG. This is a slow one now. They want to play contact. Nouns, they are aware. They are wise of this potential play. They have Cxzi already down, throws the Molotov off the spot. And things are getting down to the wire now. 35 seconds left. Good harassing, delaying utility. But JazzPimp, this rotation's huge. Will he expect Cxzi in the corner? And will he expect the op up so close? So PLANO, they've changed gears. They've shifted back. And JazzPimp in the corner might be instrumental now. He'll spot the first. He'll take him down a second. Potentially, no. Good trade from Yell. But now things get interesting. 15 seconds left. And there's still players on the A site. B-Wills goes 1-for-1 as well. 3 versus 3. And Cynic's now on the backup side. The op is rotated around 2 for him. He wins the op duel. Now the last in the keys has no choice but to try and plant. And Cxzi's more than ready. Coming up the vents, he races him down. And Nouns, a remarkable start. Another rifle round won by them. And they are still flawless and clean on their opponent's map pick here on Nuke.
Great shots from Cynic with the op. This is something that has not been there for the first 3 games for the Nouns side. And in fact, against Infinity too, I believe Cynic had maybe 10 kills throughout the course of that map. So it's good to already see him showing up. That second swing, as a matter of fact, was even better than the first. The first was a great shot. That second swing, even better. Could have had the lineup at the collateral. There's a A-pop now from PLANO, just trying to get the bomb down at this point. So much damage taken. The vent dive does not go well. Actually, Pidia's picked up the bombs. It falls down the vents. KNG's waiting in lobby. Cxzi mowed down by B-Wills, but the plant is the name of the game here. Cynic is down towards ramp, and Pidia is waiting for somebody to come down the vents. But as evidenced by the last round from Nouns, they have not been overextending. They have not been going too aggressive, as they didn't overextend last time. Now they push into lobby, and KNG's position is revealed. Trades are back there. Nobody's going to come down the vents, surely, though. Pidia just going to sit here, wait, try and be his own version of Die Hard of Bruce Willis, but I don't think he's going to be able to pull this one off here, Nate, because Cynic's still on B. He's keeping an eye on things. They have to know there's a few places he can be, and they pretty much all have to be down to the B side.
Yeah, they're slowly ticking off the boxes. BD already took a lot of damage from those nades that were thrown in towards the door. And there we go. The squeaky door broadcast exactly what it's doing. But Cynic misses the op shot on the cross. That gives PD an opportunity to at least get the bomb plant. The nade won't do him in. JazzPimp will instead. The flames, they'll wait for them to be abated. And Nouns will take a 6th. But PD, given the room, did get the bomb plant. And that does give PLANO that little extra boost they need to really pull out all the bells and whistles. We can see an op here, we can see full utility, and this should be a very formidable PLANO investment as a result.
They got a bit lucky, though, the bomb being dropped down the vent. after the kill was a boon, as well as Cynic missing that op shot. Also, that was the first plant for PLANO in this game so far. It came off of a vent dive pure luck play. That's an issue for PLANO. They're going to need to be able to get something done here, and if they're unable to convert this rifle round or even get a bomb plant, I'd say if they lose it and get a bomb plant, maybe they don't need to call a timeout, but if they don't win this round, they don't get a bomb plant, even if they this young American squad just get fired up more and more.
Again, yeah. The confidence, the momentum is very big for these NA teams, so
yep.
They want to break that sooner rather than later. And talking about that weak link we were mentioning before, exploiting such a potential opportunity, everybody from Nouns has been fragging. 6, 8, 7, 7 for JazzPimp, Cxzi, B, Wilson, Cynic, respectively. Jeorge, 2. He's just not running into people. You want to know where those 2 kills were? That was the bonus round with the MP9 when he was boosted up. That was 2 incredibly influential and important kills that just came because the players came to him. Jeorge just hasn't gotten the opportunity as of yet to really frag, and he has historically been one of the top frags. So Nouns, very, very solid footing right now in this one.
Yeah, he was great even on his Triumph days. So Jeorge is a guy you can realistically rely on. He's going to be the one player towards ramp, although Cynic can help him out from J-Hall. Cynic has now come through, and he's going to back up towards ramp as well. A bit of a bait and switch, perhaps, with Jeorge and Cynic. Cynic has the lineup. He's on the op. He's going to wait for them to cross. They jump across. He takes the shot, but now it's George's turn to shine. Sprays down the first, goes for more, but Cynic has to trade him and back away. He's blind as a bat, but he's able to... No, he's not able to dash behind. It's a 2-on-2 trade, and PLANO now with a little more control. Cxzi smells a rat around squeaky door, though. He has help from B-Wills, but they don't clear the door. And now Yell has an opportunity to scream and shout as it's down to a 1-on-3 for JazzPimp. He's down in the secret tunnels, but it's no secret he has to go to B. Yell has taken a lot of damage, but he got both those kills, and that should secure the round for PLANO. They will finally find success. A little bit of a lapse for the Nouns, and for Cynic, just couldn't get out of dodge there. One out of that engagement kind of did put a kibosh in the whole situation.
The big issue, I would say, some minutia in that kind of rotation. Just the initial duel there for Jeorge, as you mentioned, wasn't clean. If he got that first kill a little bit more quickly, he could have spray transferred more readily, and that would have potentially given him the multi-kill. Cynic as well. He pulled out his op right before he got on the corner. If he didn't do that, if he had his knife out, he might have gotten away. It's a hindsight thing. That's something we can tell thanks to the X-ray, but still, it was a very tight rotation. And now PLANO kind of putting the pieces together. They've been trying to exploit the rotations. We saw it happen before with that player down towards Africa in, I think it was the first rifle round. The first time the ops came out at the very least, trying to catch JazzPimp rotating down towards Secret. And they do at long last make that kind of plan work out with Yell over towards the squeaky door, catching both players dropping down the vents. Very well done from PLANO. The key to their success now is continuing to find those rotation kills.
And Cynic wins that opening duel against KNG, who was holding the angle. The Molotov smoke seemed to have been affecting KNG more. Either that or it's just a raw pre-fire from Cynic. Either way, he's had the better of KNG throughout the day so far, which is an issue if you're PLANO. You want your star op or your star player to be winning the opping duel against the in-game leader of the opposition.
Your veteran player, no less. It's kind of a young gun. Cynic is really finding success, finding his footing here. The IGL, who has struggled throughout the series, is really finding success and going toe-to-toe against some of the very important and very big veterans here in this game thus far. JazzPimp now, it's his turn to shine. He'll find one, only one, though. Good trade from PDA, but Cxzi in the meanwhile drops Cxzi, and 4 versus 2 secured makes this a very solid setup for Nouns, as they might just reset their opponents. Purity finishes off. B-Will's a good start. Cxzi now back vents. He's feeling the heat. He'll finally fall, but Jeorge on the flank from the ramp finds one, and he has Cynic to support as well. Purity on 36 HP. What can he do? The answer is not too much. The op of Cynic really coming alive here as he crosses that double-digit threshold to 10. And he's off to a blazing start. He and Cxzi as well, both of them 10 and 9 respectively. This is a very solid performance from the Nouns roster.
It is, and to see Cynic at the top is a really good sign for Nouns too, as they get to the famous 7-1 scoreline. KNG back on the op again, but PLANO, they were not able to string their rounds together. That's an issue. It's a very big issue. You need to find success in bunches in this game. You can't just get around here, around there. You have to get a couple, you have to get a few. Oh, it's a dink onto Yell. That's going to help out, as I believe the secret rush is pretty well telegraphed at this point in time. The rotation's already down from Cxzi into decontamination. Jeorge is here as well. Zemphis looking as unbothered as ever by everything going on. Cxzi Jeorge holding the line. It's a stall out now from did catch Nouns on rotation. That's when the bomb actually went down. This team has played a very slow and methodical CT side and have not really panicked in any situation. Double doors are opened. Jeorge will dodge the pre-fire spray, and he's going to keep an angle on the double door, maybe even take an angle towards control room now. Nobody's crossed over into Cxzi's territory. The utility has been used now. Cxzi has been removed. Jeorge behind the silo, spotted. He is not going to be too long for this world unless he can get some serious support. Cxzi goes alone, and it's a trade as Cynic comes through as well. 3-on-3, still doable for Nouns, but Cxzi on the flank. JazzPimp's got to be careful here. Cxzi, does he clear it? Does he get timinged? If Cxzi gets this kill, the whole round has to go the way of PLANO, and that should do it, although he does take the dink. Cynic and B-Wills. It looks like they don't want to go for it. I think they're going to save.
They find the one. If they find Cxzi, oh, he's already done the vents. That was the one opportunity. Cxzi was quite low. If B was caught that player dropping there in rotation, that might have been the key they needed. But they're actually still going to go for it. They were hoping to find Cxzi. They know that he's rotated down now, and I do like this call as well. They're so low. It is doable. The op duel, though, the op differential between KNG and Cynic, that's going to be the key factor here. And KNG, of course, is the one that wins it. Very well done as he finds his revenge on to the CT young gun. And now B-Will's in the 1v3. Realistically, he should be maybe going for the op and saving that at most, but this is going to be a second round for PLANO.
I think that's what he's doing. He's going to try and grab the op here. He'll survive the explosion, grab the op, toss that back over to Cynic, get a drop in return. Cxzi might be on a FAMAS or something less as well, an MP9 perhaps. He does play top hut quite a bit, so it wouldn't be too bad to play with a shotgun either. Although it really does hurt if it's not an A play or even like a lobby push from the PLANO side. A timeout called very early from Nouns. They lose 2 out of the last 3. They call a timeout. Xemphis will stand and say his piece. Very calm, rallying the troops here. But I like that early timeout call from Nouns. They don't want to let things get out of control. They already got off to a good start. 7-2, still very good. But they want 10. 9, it's fine. 10 is so much better for this team. Especially, again, this is the pick of PLANO. And for this North American squad facing potential elimination, taking this first map puts them on the fast track to victory.
And I will say as well that timeout, no one else was talking. It was Xemphis saying his piece, as you mentioned. I want to see him talking to JazzPimp specifically, giving him more direct kind of ideas because it has all been about the rotation. And JazzPimp has almost always been on that rotation from the outside yard. So giving him some direction here could do the team a whole lot of good. And I do love seeing the team listening to their coach. I thought there might be a little bit more back and forth in an NA kind of style tactical pause, but no, Xemphis got to say his piece uninhibited, and I love to see that from this roster. Again, looking incredibly disciplined, this young Nouns squad, and that is not something I expected from these kind of players.
Yeah, you have Cxzi, you have Jeorge, and you have Cynic on the same team. You don't expect that kind of discipline. You expect a little more flair, a little more individuality. But there has been the flair, there has been the individuality, but it's been measured. It's been at the right time. I like this outer yard take from PLANO, though. A lot of utility, clearing out the angles. JazzPimp on the spray has done a little bit of chip onto Cxzi. But it looks like another hell wrap coming through from PLANO, potentially even jumping up into heaven. We'll see if they want to go that route. And in fact, it does look like they want to try the heaven
It's
wrap.
a lobby take. It's a lobby crunch.
They're
this is
figure this out.
perfectly played. This is very well done from Nouns.
Such the right counterplay.
This is the counterplay, I would say.
Yep.
Well done, perfectly executed. Now things are gonna get dicey and get kind of wacky going into this retake, I'm sure. But this duel is everything. Cxzi on the backlines. Can he drop Cxzi? Cxzi's just posted. He should clear the angle, sure, but Cxzi's the one that walks into it. Very unfortunate. Almost a second for him as well. B-Wills will get the trade, sure, but Pedia answers in kind. Bombs going down. JazzPimp has a lot to do here and towards the hut. They brought him back in from the outside yard for exactly this kind of play. The question is, can he come up big? A first one secured. The second towards Mustang, though, is an entirely different proposition. Cxzi is heavily favored in this duel. And Pedia as well has lurked in towards Squeaky. JazzPimp knows an opportunity. He's going to clear it. He's going to find it. A big double for JazzPimp now, and it leaves just KNG and Cxzi. And it looks like KNG's looking for the rotation elsewhere as well. Cxzi's a lot to do for Mustang. He'll find the first. That's the first of many required, though. KNG coming back in towards Mini. Jeorge swinging out, looking for something. Will find it. Time is down to the wire, though. KNG, is it planted for him? No, it's not. You have to run in, but they're already fighting him. Cynic finds the kill. Do they have the time? No. They both went for the hunt. They have no kit, and so PLANO, they'll take the win here. But they'll lose all of their players, and Nouns will recover a double op setup for their troubles.
They do recover the double op, but it's going to be a severely limited retake capability here. They're going to need to have the ops stymie any sort of offensive coming in from PLANO. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a FAMAS, an MP9, 2 ops, make it 2 FAMASes. This is a really weird buy from Nouns and a tactical timeout used by PLANO. And that was a round where they probably should have won a lot more cleanly, considering the positioning they were able to get, and that pick and the damage from Cxzi. That should have been a much easier win for PLANO. But instead, it got a lot more dicey, a lot more dire. And it was almost winnable. If there would have been a kit on Cynic that he didn't have to pick up, it would have been a 1 round for Nouns. And that was what really hurt them in the end. They did not have a defuse kit on those players alive. So, yeah, Cynic ended up with one at the end, but that's because he picked it up on the retreat from the exploding bomb. This double op setup, though, it has to pay off. It has to be what saves Nouns.
It's very interesting to me. They go for this really unorthodox setup and they don't use attack pause. They already know what they're going for. The attack pause gives them the luxury of talking it out, now giving them a little more time to flesh out their idea, but I am very interested to see what they have in mind here. It looks like aggression might be on the docket for PLANO. Jeorge, he gets the collateral towards the hut. A very solid start. Cxzi now trying to get his team back into it, but no. Jeorge, one of the 2 on the double op setup, finds yet another Cxzi on the op. He has bought a new one. That was a hefty investment. It might prove folly. Sure, Nekis finds one in response, but still, Nouns have a hefty advantage here. 3 versus 2, and both ops of this double op setup still standing. PLANO, what is the recourse? They don't have the bomb. They have so much to do. It's the op duel. Cxzi, there we go. The veteran coming through. Finds one onto Jeorge. He dismantles one of the 2 ops in the double op setup, but they need more. JazzPimp, they have no idea where he might be. He's traditionally towards the outside yard. This time he's across the map. He's towards the ramp. And Cynic, where is he? He's the one in the outside yard instead with the big green. Cxzi, so many angles to clear, but he's the one that's going to have to do it here for PLANO.
And the bomb is out in hut. They're aware of the fact that there could be another player back silo, but there isn't anybody on the side proper. Nouns are playing this really smart by not over-aggressing, by not trying to re-peek into that angle. Bomb's going to be recovered, but they have their main bases covered. Anyone wants to cross into mini, Cynic has that angle. Anyone goes ramp, JazzPimp has it. They want to go out our yard, Cynic can reposition, he could rechange his angle, he gets the kill. The flash is going to be a fake. Cynic is not bit it either. He's still holding his line. Hits the leg shot, but Cxzi wins the fight. The damage is there. JazzPimp is going to drop down to B and expect a vent dive? Interesting decision. He now hears him up on the A site and will make his way to the upper angle.
It's doable.
It is very doable. He's got the kit too and some flashes. It all comes down to whether or not he can get past the first player.
The first player is walking to him, giving him the opportunity. This player's lit, and timing's perfect. Timing's good. Oh, spots him, but he takes the shot and misses the opportunity. Now the jig is up. Now he has 2 to fight in earnest. Does he go through it? Yes, he does. He's holding it all on this fight. Nekis, he's the one that wins it. The FAMAS can't pull it off, and PLANO bring it back from the brink. Very well done from those final pair of players to get it across the line. Nouns, though, still showing us a very solid read of the situation. I love that play, funneling them subliminally in towards A, not taking the duels to do so, but instead just holding the angles and going for a full retake A setup. The op holding the door, just unfortunate on the execution, getting the leg shot rather than the lower body shot. Very unfortunate there, and as we can tell, they know that that was an issue that needs to be talked through, that needs to calm down and simmer down before they continue. Very wise tactical pause being called as Semphis again put some important words in.
Even though they're going to be on pistols here, they still want to talk over what happened, because that's a round that cannot be repeated again. That's a round. It's a couple of rounds now that Nouns should have won, that PLANO were able to scrape by with. And
that's one of the few times that a timeout before an eco makes sense to us.
It is,
I would
exactly.
say.
And they could still do some damage here with the pistols. Cxzi's got armor, a P250, Deagle for JazzPimp, a 5.7 for Jeorge. It can still do some damage, and I think that's the name of the game, because the T-set economy hasn't really been established. But for PLANO, this is their chance to really cut that deficit, to really start chopping away at the underbrush that's grown, and to get closer to Nouns here before the end of the half reaches its eventual conclusion. And this outer yard control has been given up, obviously, because Nouns have pistols, and they didn't go for an outer rush. The lobby hold, though, is also very defensive, but Piria from behind Down goes the Deagle, and Cxzi will be soon to follow. The bomb has been spotted and not actually taken out. Cxzi is able to get both B-Wills and Cxzi. Jeorge falls to Cxzi, and Cynic, the last one standing with nothing but a silenced pistol. Looks like a flawless victory for PLANO, and just what the doctor ordered for their very hemorrhaging economy. It's going to be, what, 3 in a row now for the PLANO, or 4 in a row, actually, for the PLANO side. So
it's a boon they can't afford to squander. This is a good start to really building that economy and building that dynasty that T-Side can be known for. They'll become far more formidable, far more resilient to resets. Nouns are now back at bat, and again, I'm going to bring up that weak link idea that we talked about before. Nobody's weak link on Nouns. It's still continuing. Everybody's doing the job, and the lowest ADR we see is 73 for Jeorge, again, who just hasn't had a lot of that early action. Everybody else, though, more than adequate in their performance. It's just been unfortunate in these last couple rounds. Again, that op leg shot comes to mind. That might be the heartbreaking one, I would say, at the moment, but Nouns still have time to work with, still have time to recover again, and tags from JazzPimp on the cross as of now, but he does need to find more. Oh, they're going through the smoke. Aggressive Cxzi, and now JazzPimp's kind of stuck in a difficult spot here. Good shot from Cxzi onto Cxzi. And PLANO, they're finding their own confidence now, and that is very scary. JazzPimp, he'll clap back, sure, he'll find the trade, but trades do still favor the T's in this case, and Nouns, they're most certainly not out of the woods yet.
Most certainly not out of the woods, but they are going to have to fight an uphill battle from this point forward. Cynic's come through to support as well. All the pressure outer yard. JazzPimp still at Unbreakable. Cynic going to keep an eye on the A side now. Yell with the swing across the garage, and down goes JazzPimp. At least they have the bomb spot, but that's information that comes at a very great cost. Cynic now to reposition, but he's got to worry about his right side too at some point. At least the glass break can give him a definite sound cue. But PDA also has secret stairs under control, so the rotation can't really come up from, I believe it's Cynic, or not Cynic, it's Jeorge down in the tunnels. Cynic working around the outer side. Has to be careful not to get caught here. He's exposed. The windows are there, but Jeorge wins the fight against PDA. Cynic backs away. He does not spot the player backing out of garage, and if he was still holding his other angle towards coat room, he would have had himself a nice free shot. But A is going to be the target, and B Wills will anchor from back silo. This is his home. He is very much like Spongy in North America. Very good backside player, and he gets the first. He can reposition as well. Tosses out some utility. Baits him into the left side. Peek! Sprays away at Yell, but Yell wins the fight. No support from Cynic either coming forth into a 2-on-2. Time is very low, but the bomb goes down, and so is Jeorge. The nade just tickles Cynic a little bit. Jeorge goes up. The op is on the angle. The retake smoke is thrown. The Molotov's going in. The flash to counter. And Yell right underneath has to get these kills. Cxzi as well. He's got the first. The op from Cynic mowed down from below. And there's the 6th round that PLANO really wanted to get. Everything else is icing on the cake, and Nouns starting to flounder as we get to the tail end.
Yeah, but PLANO really fighting their groove, really getting the read, and finally finding those rotations as they needed. Also, getting the confidence. We talked about the confidence being important for this North American team. It's also very important for PLANO. Cxzi just swinging through the smoke over towards the garage, finding one, spotting the other. Doesn't win the duel in the end towards JazzPimp, but it doesn't matter. He found a very clean opening versus Cxzi, and that's all he needs to do in that position.
Half buy-in from Nouns. B was actually getting one. Swaps to an AK. Can he get by Cxzi? No. Yell mows down Jeorge as well, so only 1 kill so far found for Nouns. JazzPimp going to get cleared by Cxzi. The MP9 at this range can definitely win the fight. It will indeed. It takes a lot of damage, but hey, it's a little more consolation kill, a little more economic damage, although at this point, economic damage doesn't really mean jack squat. JazzPimp will brave the fire. He'll grab the gun. Cynic, however, runs right into the waiting arms of Cxzi. JazzPimp now in a 1-on-3. The A site, known to be very undefended, will be targeted. And I think JazzPimp's probably just going to try and save the... Oh, never. First shot, if he pulls off a 5 HP 1-on-3, it would be a marvel. He's done some damage. He hears the vent drop. Cxzi's dancing around. JazzPimp repositioning has 2 different players on his angles. The op is in the open. Ooh! The op goes down. This is winnable now for JazzPimp. He's going to reposition onto the scaffolding, and I don't believe he made any noise. Repositioning over top of Cxzi. He's dropped down onto the railing. Cxzi still towards double door. JazzPimp could even push in through control room as the glass is broken. Cxzi is on the site. He's looking the right way, however. Cxzi towards double door. Is he looking right? Yes, he is. He guesses the right angle. He gets the kill. JazzPimp makes it close, but no cigar for the Nouns player. Oh boy.
I love that. I love that from JazzPimp. That was amazing. Showing us again why he's the top-rated player for his team in this one. For this whole tournament now, for the first 3 maps at the very least. Absolutely marvelous. The first, a good shot, a good read of them going down towards B. The second one, through the flames, very well done to catch the op, and just the micro play, rotating around. I love the idea from JazzPimp. It was perfectly played. Unfortunately, the timing and the angle clears isn't deep enough. And so PLANO tie it up. They could steal away the lead in literally the final round of this first half. A remarkable recovery, and potentially one that gets them across the line here on their map pick. Keep in mind, this is traditionally a CT-sided one, and that's a good way to start off yet again. Biria on the spam catches Cxzi, who was returning fire. Sure, he takes lots of damage, but again, an opening is an opening. That's all they really need. Cynic, he has to come alive here on the op. He's had a bit of a quiet, I think he still needs more. He needs to challenge KNG. He needs to shut down the veteran to really get his team back into it.
4-on-4 definitely does favor the T side, but Jeorge is here and he only gets one. Yell will
Did
fall.
he get the kill to the wall?
Yeah, Yell got chopped to the wall. KNG holds the J-Hall rotation. The Molotov comes through as well. JazzPimp rotating down the vents. B wills to follow. KNG already down on site, though. Shotgun opping around double doors, going to hold the single angle much better, but he misses his opening opportunity. In come B-Wills, in comes JazzPimp. Down go the players of PLANO, but Kaike dink down is not done. Has the AK, has no health. 8-7 into half 2. See you then. Here we are into half number 2. Nouns, they slipped at the end. It was a 7-1 scoreline. It ends at 8-7 as Nouns strip away that 6-round win streak from PLANO, keep it from being an PLANO half. But it's an 8-7 on Nuke. It's very tight. Nouns to the T side now. Dual Berettas and armor out for KNG. Cxzi with a kit, and KNG up close and hot. The dualies so good at this range. They try to mow down one. They do accomplish that. B-Will's going to try and go through as well. Cxzi in the meantime falls. Cxzi with 2 as well. Leaving it all down to B-Wills, and the necessary pistol round for PLANO is converted in flawless, in clean fashion in about 23 seconds as well. I'm Bugs. He's Pineapple Phillips. We didn't even get to the introductions because that round was over as soon as it started.
I wanted to talk about the last round of the first half, and here we are. We're already through the pistol round. 2 resounding shutouts on the CT side pistol for both respective teams. Very well done from PLANO. They're not going to steal away the lead more than likely. No bomb plant possible for Nouns in that round. Means they're going to be on save, and that pretty much rolls out the red carpet for PLANO to take the lead here on the CT side, and that does bode well for them here on their map pick. An early lead on the CT side, and on the favored side of the map, it just looks very solid for PLANO going forward. Solid start as well, dropping Jeorge. And we talked about Nouns slipping away their lead. They did win that last round in the first half, but with the highlight, it was a lot of luck. Jeorge getting a consolation kill despite missing his intended target, hitting one through the wall onto Yell. And of course, a very solid and disciplined crossfire from the double door and the decon door down towards the B site. Very well done from Nouns on the ending there, but again, it required a little bit of luck to get them there. Either way, this round, much more luck required in order for them to find anything. They have 1 P250 and 2 Glocks remaining, no Kevlar, 1 flash, and truly a dream to at least find a bomb plant. And even then, I think that dream might be too much to ask.
That's a very tall dream. It's about as fantastical as Jack and the Beanstalk. And KNG will make it even more so. This one, impossible at this point for Cynic. Yes, technically there's always a chance, but back-to-back flawlesses, drive-by with the dualies. Nice little flare to finish that one off from KNG. And this is where Nouns will now try to tie things up at 9 apiece. But their T side, Nate, is usually a little bit on the weak side. So this is a problem for the Nouns side.
And look at PLANO, they're playing directly into it. Their second round buy, they're not trifling with the SMGs. They're not looking to build up that money. They're not looking to go for a bonus. They're looking to go for a full rifle buy through and through. They made that second round clean. They now have rifles across the board in round 3 as a result. It's 4 FAMASas and an M4. Sure, they don't harvest as much money from the kills, but they're looking to make this bonus round all the more scary, and it definitely is a scary one right now. Nouns, sure, they have full rifles, including 1 Galil and 4 AKs, but lacking a bit on utility, and as you mentioned, they do seem somewhat lost at times here on the T side of Nuke.
Cynic tries to get the opening against Pidia, who dives down the ramp, and it'll just be a bait and switch here. There's 4 players on the A side, though. Cxzi has found KNG. That is one early boon here for the T side. But there still is a lot more to go, and they're going to work around ramp now. They've scared off Pidia. Cxzi's just going to lurk towards lobby. Make sure nobody comes on the flank. JazzPimp holding outside as well. Pidia all the way up the secret stairs. He's bolted and ran. And Cynic can come up through heaven. I don't believe there's anybody watching that angle on the A side either. In fact, it's a lobby crunch here from PLANO. But this is exactly what Nouns want the way they're playing this. They're waiting for these pushes, these rotations from PLANO. Pidia is going to be caught up by JazzPimp if he's looking the right direction. No, he's looking towards Africa instead. And he gets put down. The lobby crunch is on, but the B side is wide open for Nouns, and they're going to realize that very quickly. And the keys clearing through trophy. Cxzi's here, but he's going to have to hold off against 4. All the utilities going down. The smokes to the right spots. The Molotovs are there. Yell has come through as well. They're in towards double door. There's 3 players moving down the stairwell. Do they bait and switch? Yes, they do! But B was with a team kill. Jeorge and Cxzi! They pulled it back into a 2-on-1, but the bomb has to go down, and Cxzi is rotating down the ramp. High HP for both Jeorge and Cxzi, but they're both 1 dinks. That's the problem. The FAMAS is not going to be as weak as it would be otherwise. Do you like the crossfire? You can't just swing alone, though. Danny wins the duel anyway. And we're all tied at 9. But it's a hard round for Nouns to win. Still, it is something.
I like the play from both teams there in towards control. We had the bait and switch the players left and right on the CT into a bait and switch from the Ts. They had the players in control, and they had Cxzi swinging in through the double doors to be the switch there to find the trades back. Very well done from Nouns to come back from the brink on that one, but as you mentioned, it's still a costly one. They're not out of the woodworks yet. PLANO, that was a bonus for them. They now can dip into their coffers. They can invest. It's still not the best. 3 FAMASas, 2 M4s, better than the round prior, but still less than ideal. They are lacking a bit of utility, but it is most certainly a serviceable buy here for both teams, and a swing round at that. If a team loses this round, especially without the bomb plant on the T side, we should be seeing a save in the follow-up.
Yeah, it's a critical swing round at a critical juncture of the game. This will give you an advantage heading into the later rounds, towards the round number 16s. So, almost not quite a must-win round for either side, but a very important round nonetheless. A lot of lobby defaulting. For sure. So give you that 10-9 and then more than likely an 11-9. So exactly.
Any lead is a big lead. We're not at the dire stages yet. We're not at 12-13. But a lead like that, especially on the T side, if you can keep those 2 rounds, this one and the following, clean and flawless or near flawless, you're going to build up an indomitable or thereabouts T side economy very quickly. You can snowball. Again, both these teams momentum-based, very confidence-based. And so 2 wins like that with the economy behind you could set you back on the tracks to a very quick and dominant success. So lots of implications coming from this one. JazzPimp in the outside yard, certainly he's not keen on getting caught on a timing once more. So he's going to look far more dutifully over towards that secret area. There's a player outside in the yard, but he is towards the garage. He's not actually in towards secret. In the meanwhile, the Nouns looking to come out towards A. Time is becoming a factor, and it is trades back and forth, but Cxzi breaks the trades with 2 kills in a row. Jeorge does finally clap back. Cxzi, though, he's rotated in towards the hut area. He spots them crossing, but he doesn't kill. He's gonna swing. He finds one, not the second. JazzPimp finds the trade, but on low HP and in the 1v1, no time to plant. He doesn't get it in, and so Piria is going to win. He's gonna get the kill after time to add insult to injury, and that is a massive win for PLANO. Sure, they lose a majority of the roster and a lot of the guns as a result, but they get the round and they get the kill after time.
That's a gutting round for Nouns. They play the clock. They try to play on the razor's edge. Yes, this is timeout territory. And if I'm Semphis, I'm not happy with how that round played out. You take too long, and then you don't just focus the bomb plant after that if you're JazzPimp. You have to get the bomb down. You can't win the round without getting it down at that point in time. And what happens? They lose the round of time. And he dies after. At least he had money left over. So it's not terrible economically. He's about even with everybody else. But, geez. Of all the rounds to lose for Nouns, it's another one where they kind of end up playing themselves, Nate.
Get in their own heads. They rely too much on JazzPimp into the outside yard. They give him too much time. They could have gone while he was doing that, and they might have actually pulled a rotation into him and given him more of an opportunity to find a kill. But again, hindsight's always 20/20. Nouns look like they're playing much more cautiously than they might otherwise if the score was a little bit more in their favor or even against them. It feels like because it's so neck to neck and so because it's so close, they're trying to play as best they can, and they might be getting into their own heads as a result. It's Glocks now. Smoke, some flashes for Jeorge and Cynic respectively. No PLANO. They're looking to harvest. They're looking to just coast here. Keep it clean and flawless or thereabouts. Let those MP9s on Yell and Cxzi really harvest the money. Keep in mind, as we mentioned before, $600 per kill instead of $300. That does add up very quickly when you get 2 or 3. And of course, that is added on top of the round win bonus as well, which is very significant. And PLANO, even though they're against pistols, they're still not scared of going a little bit aggressive. They're still not scared of playing their own game. They're going to go for information. Cxzi spots at least one in towards the lobby, and realistically, unless PLANO get very aggressive, they should.
Cxzi's pushing in, thinks better of it. Instead, just sits in hut. He should still be able to win the duels, even if a full force Glock rush comes to his angle. I like how Yell's pushing through outside, too. Let those SMGs go get kill hungry. Let the rifle support. Although Cxzi does go out, and he goes down to KNG. Now Cxzi's turn to get some cash will come, and he will pick up one. Oh, Yell only gets one. That's actually not great at all, especially since Jeorge can now try and get into the second. The flash will go too far, but it still actually ends up working for him. So 2 kills for Jeorge, including an MP9 frag, 900 bucks in the bank, and a good amount of money. Could technically buy head armor, drop the op over to Cynic, but they're going to go full rifles on the T-side nuke. Definitely not a bad idea, since there's not going to be an op over for PLANO either. KNG drops over an M4. The utility will be there for the team as well. Still, another swing round coming through here. PLANO aren't in the best of economic straits. Nouns.
No.
They have another opportunity here at the 9-11 scoreline. This
Very
is a bit
well
of a
done.
gift.
It is a bit of a gift. The 2 MP9 kills is huge. Now, if there's 2 players you want to lose, it's the MP9, sure. But you don't want to lose anybody. And the fact that one of them only got a single kill means that they don't really harvest that much cash, or not as much as you would expect. Yell, though, he wants to put this round to bed very early over towards Stuart. This is a big adjustment from the CT side, and this is, I think, also the first time I think they've gone to the yard, Nouns, and it's been dismantled completely. I like the change in pace from the T side, but it is netted absolutely nothing. Jeorge on the rotation watch is now suddenly in a 1v5. 2 players are lit, sure, but it's just truly an insurmountable situation. Just too many guns against him here. He'll find the first, sure. He'll take about half HP damage as a result, and they're playing from KNG. He has the M4 in hand. He'll get the quick kill, and that is a very difficult loss now for Nouns. That is one that I would be calling a timeout on, but again, they've used so many at this stage, I don't think they can afford to do so now.
Yeah, half it. You have to half it here.
Half by here, maybe timeout in the next. Again, I think a timeout is now critical for the T side, especially after that loss. But yeah, they've had to use them throughout. And while the timeouts have been very timely and very important, I think they're just running out of them. They need more guidance from Semphis in the back lines, and I don't think they're going to get any here. Maybe this pistol round can salvage the mindset. It is Tech 9s with armor. It could be very scary, and they do have B-side as well with the bomb. And a ramp split. They're going to get to play a ramp. Piria has a lot to do here. He does find 2. JazzPimp though drops KMG, and Piria, what can he do? Not the third. There we go. Now the Tech 9s are getting scary. 2 rifles towards the ramp to hold things down, and Kaike's got in rotation. There we go. Now this is suddenly a doable round, even an advantageous round for Nouns. Necky's caught behind the smoke, is dropped by JazzPimp as well. He's coming alive in a big way. It's just Yell. He's behind the smoke towards Decon, and in the 1 versus 3, it doesn't seem feasible. He might have to cut ties with this one, and Nouns, I said they need a timeout to slow things down, and they shut me right up, truly. They put PLANO on a save, and remarkable return to form here.
I think PLANO will still invest with the saved M4, because they'll have enough for M4s and armor across 4 players. Or at least Necky's might be limited to a FAMAS. But this M4 could be dropped over to Kaike or to Necky's, either way. They're going to have a full buy here. Op for KNG, M4s, and a FAMAS.
It has to be full investment. Okay. It has to be full investment, though. That's the thing. That round is a round Nouns shouldn't have won. That should be a round where PLANO build the economy and really begin to run away with it. It'll be 9-13 at that stage. And then really it does feel like Nouns are out of striking distance. Now, though, they have a bank behind them because they won the half buy. They have full rifles and full utility, and they have the opportunity to reset PLANO now. If they can win this one, especially with this drop-down vents, Nouns, they're finding their confidence again. This is their path back into it. They win this one. It's 11-12. They're within 1. PLANO are on the save. Keep it flawless. Build that economy further. And then Nouns are truly and earnestly back into it. They have found a way right when I thought they might be broken.
If there was a team to just start winning rounds by turning off the braid and rushing around, it would be Nouns, though. Best way to change gears for Nouns is just to Tech 9 rush something. The fact that Cynic's able to just get all the way down, too, is great. 1-2 again from the ramp. But Cxzi's also found KNG just holding down the back lines. He's the one who dropped down vents so early. It's a 3-on-3. The bomb's going to go down on B yet again. PLANO have to make a decision. If they lose this opening pick on this retake, I think it has to be another save call. Cynic's here. Cxzi's got the opener. Great little bait and switch there with the doors opening. Took all the aggression away. Necky's keeping an eye on that, and that's the save. PLANO, they have to save it to avoid another save situation. So even now, the next buy is going to be terrible. It's going to be the op, the M4, and pistols. That's it. They're going to have 1,900 for a buy. So Piria with 600 in the bank. What is that, 2,500? Probably going to stay around 2K, so no, this is Nouns' road back into it. And it comes off another fast play, this time the vent drop.
They're showing us that they are no longer scared. I was saying they're kind of losing their identity. They looked kind of lost on this T side, a little bit slow. They were caught on timings. That's where PLANO really found the success. And now they're emerging. Now they're getting confident. They said, screw it. We're on a half buy. Play our game. Play the NA style, that scrappy, fast Tech 9 play. It starts it. That starts the fire beneath them, and that gets them moving. Now they're going quick. Cxzi down the vents in that following round as well. Drops Xzi. That was the linchpin in towards B. And Nouns, they found their identity once more. They're against pistols and those 2 saved rifles. This is their way back into it. Tie it up here and potentially send PLANO back to their difficult buy on the CT side, a difficult prospect. Take away the op on Xzi for once and for all, at least for the next couple rounds. A true way back into it for Nouns here on Nuke, their opponent's map pick.
I questioned the Nuke pick all the way back in the pre-show, Nate. I thought it was the pick by Nouns at first. And there you can see why now I thought it was a Nouns pick. Even on that CT side, they lost a lot of rounds early that they shouldn't. Out of those first 4 rounds that PLANO won, realistically speaking, Nouns should have won at least 2 of those, if not 3. So, Nouns should have had a much better side. Oh, Xzi over top, jumps up and down goes Cxzi. He was trying to hunt a little too far, a little too aggressive. And instead it's the opening pick, the Deagle of Piria, who's holding down a ramp. He's been a rock here, and he's knocked down another pillar. Xzi's rotated in from J-Hall, but Jeorge destroys him. Cxzi! That's a big kill, but Cynic's coming through. Cynic needs that second kill, but he can't find it. JazzPimp stuck outside, trying to salvage this against the pistols. Piria, though, trying to be the hero. Xzi's op kill making a big impact, but it was that Deagle kill, and then the second coming into Cynic that really saves the day here for PLANO. They could win that pistol round fight right back. Looks like Yell is on this angle too, but there is no armor aim punch going to be a thing. JazzPimp, you only have 18 seconds, buddy. You got to either save or you got to go. You got to make a move here. And he sprays down what he takes too much damage and puts the round over.
Good job from BD, capping off a stellar round from him. 3 kills in that round, 2 on the Deagle, 1 on the AK, and well, they clap back. They say, you can win a pistol round, so can we. We have 2 rifles around it, sure, but it was the pistols doing the heavy lifting in earnest, as you said, and PLANO now showing us why it is their map pick. Nouns, it's really, they're trying to go back to their bread and butter, what they've been practicing. It's JazzPimp on the lurk, out in the yard, stuff along those lines. But JazzPimp is just a little too late, a little too pensive on his rotations. He's playing with too much respect towards the yard, when in all actuality, there's no one really stomping around there. There's no one playing those close angles as of now for PLANO. The closest they've gotten is towards Secret. So if JazzPimp can kind of make that read, find the tendencies from this CT side, it's kind of hands off towards the outside yard, maybe Nouns can find a way back into it, but we're back to that point now where Nouns do truly feel like they're out of strike range. This is a very impactful round, important round. Both teams investing down once more. Nouns, they win this, they could find a path back to a tied ball game. They lose this, though, PLANO are knocking on the door of Map 2.
Map 2 is Inferno, so a much better sign for Nouns in terms of map. But they have to still fight here. They can't go down with a whimper. They got to go down with an explosion, a boom. Cxzi trying to hard entry again. That is his role after all. But Keys will get traded back. That's good for Nouns. Early pick, although they have to make a move. They've been playing the clock down too far. It's been costing them in the last few rounds. They don't necessarily want to push into that op too. They know the op's been playing around ramp.
The first op for Cynic as well.
Oh yeah,
first op was on the T side. So this could be an impactful one. Jeorge, though, talking about that flash through the door, doesn't find anything. Cxzi a double. Bomb dropped as well. No one inside there. Have to very quickly rotate to grab that, but Cxzi goes for the peek. He might just be able to find a timing here. Yell is also posted at a deeper angle. Truly a very scary situation here for Cynic. Caught with an 8 out. Wasn't punished for it, sure, but Xzi takes the space. That is a huge one for him to find. The op duel 1, and JazzPimp again, the outside yard lurker. He's a little bit more aggressive this time, but with 15 seconds left, no bomb, and fortifying, it is truly difficult. Yell, very well read. He knows the tendencies of JazzPimp. He finds the kill, and PLANO, an ultimate map point, and more importantly, a broken T-side economy. No bomb plants at all in recent memory for this T-side means that their economy is truly in shambles.
JazzPimp's taking too long in the lurks to do anything.
Too much respect. The outside yard has been hands off entirely from PLANO. They've had one player secret. That one round that Nouns went outside, and that is giving them complete, like, fear of the outside yard. It was the one time they went secret.
Yep.
Was the one time they went there, and they've never gone outside again. Nouns. I don't think they've even faked it. They might have thrown a smoke or two, but for the most part, they've been completely hands off, and that kind of fear instilled into Nouns is what I think is doing them in here.
Yeah, when they were going fast and they were going aggressive, it worked. But now, oh, this is another faster play. Cxzi goes down, but Neckies from Vents mows down too before he roasts alive. Yell forced out of heaven, but the bomb can go down. This is playing passive again. Retake smoke's been thrown. Flash goes up, bomb goes down. And Nouns could try and play the post plant. The op is going to be on the retake, and that could definitely make things a little bit easier for Nouns if they're able to take down a rifle or two. On the initial, Yell drops down onto site, but he's taken out by Jeorge, who finds the second on the PLANO, a third on the round. It's all down to the op, and this is not really winnable for KNG. This is a fadeaway time. Jeorge should hit the deck with a nade. Never mind, he dodges that. Really good way to stay alive and keep the gun up. But Nouns, these fast plays work. Not relying on the lurk to find you space. Not relying on the lurk to come in and get you an opening. Going fast, going together, flashing in once or twice. That's been working for you. You gotta go back to what has worked. PLANO was not really countered the fast play bar the secret push, which was quite literally a one-off. Was Yell deciding, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go tuck into secret for a bit. Oh, hey, they came here. Cool.
If Semphis is hearing them say fast, hearing them rally around this, he stays hands off, and it looks like he is. But if he isn't, if he's hearing them say, all right, boys, a couple more, he's not hearing them say, play our style, go outside, something along those lines, something different that they're scared of, then I'm calling the timeout. I'm pulling the trigger. So Semphis doesn't call a timeout yet. He's still holding on to it. I thought they had one left. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know if he can call the timeout.
Oh, not he, but the team can.
Yeah.
The team, I would be saying call a timeout if you're still kind of pensive about this. Either way, PLANO getting the buy, scrappy at that, lacking utility of Hamas and MP9, which has already gone out of the round. Nouns might be gifted an opportunity. It's only 1-for-1 thus far, though. Cxzi's down for Neckies. And both these teams are relatively evenly matched. Both teams don't necessarily have a standout star, but everybody's doing the work, and that is why it's been so back and forth. And just, I don't want to say scrappy, because it's not scrappy. It's still very well disciplined. The issue is that it's just so back and forth and so evenly matched.
It's been a war of attrition. Back and forth, blow for blow. But it hasn't just been a full-on slugfest. There's been blocks. There's been counters. There's been dodges. It's been very back and forth. The pistols have made it a little more bloody. But Jeorge, that's a big opening. KNG to trade that right back. The smoke will not ward him off. He goes forward, misses the shot, and is somehow still alive here. Sending trades out onto Yell. KNG still trying to get the job done, but he is getting harassed down to 20 HP. JazzPimp will take him down with a Tech 9 drive-by. Pidia on the scaffolding. Has to be the hero. He cannot be. Cynic gets to 13. Nouns are clawing this one back. And look at the economy for PLANO. It is gone, Nate. It is empty. 0 buy from PLANO, a half at best. KNG can get armor and a deagle. That's about the best they're going to be able to buy here, and he's going to probably save for the op in the next round. So he's not going to buy too much. P250, that is it. USPs, Nouns must win this clean. Must win this clean. It's not that they should. They must if they want to win this map.
Yep. As a friend would put it, the economy is shambolic, and the play reflects that. It's aggressive outside. Good 1-for-1. It's really the best you can ask for with pistols, but Jeorge and Deagles do collapse, and the MAC-10 is harvesting for Cxzi. Jumping up, finding one. It's Pidia, the ramp player. The rock for his squad on that side of the map now in the 1v4. USP in hand. All he can really do is maybe, if he's lucky, find one with a nice dink with the first bullet, but even that is far-fetched. And Nouns, props to them on this T side. They were blocked on that CT side for a good bit. That gave PLANO the way back in, but Nouns not nearly so on this map, on this side of the map. They've lost a round or two, but they've always been able to come back into it. Idiot, the last nail in the coffin there as we enter a tied ball game. We're guaranteed all 30 at minimum here on map 1.
All 30 at minimum. This is going to remind me of that 9Z Imperial game, Nate. Where it's just back
Honestly,
and
this
forth.
might be more entertaining. That one had the storyline, and it was a match for the tournament simply because of the storyline that goes with it. However, this one is neck and neck through and through, and that does make a far more entertaining, at least in the short term, and even in the long term. I would say this one is felt. It does feel scrappy because the teams are so evenly matched. It's kind of the only term I can think of at the moment that comes to mind. But it's not scrappy. It's not poor Counter-Strike.
No, it's
this
not.
is two teams exchanging blows of the mind.
Now, Nouns have gotten a little bit scrappier as of late. They've gotten a lot more aggressive, a lot more in your face. But that's what's been working for them. And PLANO haven't really found a counter. They tried to get a little more aggressive in that last gun round, and that cost them. Pistol round, that's what you should be doing. You should be going aggressive. You should just try and deathball your way through. Got a kill. Not too shabby.
Cynic up once again. And it's kind of the NA backbone, the NA identity shining through for this team. They don't do it anymore, and props to them for playing more measured to start things off. But when it comes down to it, they're going to go back to the bread and butter. They're going to go back to what they've been trained to do, or what they did growing up and building this identity. It's back to that scrappy nature, and sometimes that's just what you need. A return to that kind of time before. And right now it is indeed paying dividends. Cxzi on the op, the hero that we mentioned before, he has to be the star for the squad, and he does not disappoint in the early goings of this one, of round 29. Good start towards the hut. Cxzi taking lots of spam damage in response. At this point, Nouns, priority number 1, finish off that kill. Priority number 2, get Cxzi off the board. And if you do that, it's a very solid standing going into this. Cxzi, though, stuck behind the flames, is going to catch another. Maybe a third. He does find it. Cxzi coming alive at a critical juncture. Smoke now for his escape. His team is enabling him in a massive way. JazzPimp, his outside lurk is finally quicker. But is it quick enough? He's being watched for. This duel against Yell is everything. It could give his team way back into it, but no, he does not find it. And so it all rests on Cynic's laurels. He has the op. We've seldom seen it on this T side, but he has to do it all. And realistically, he might even call the save at this stage.
Realistically, they shouldn't be buying the op on the T side. It hasn't worked. It goes. It's antithetical to their style. It's antithetical to where they're at their best. After this timeout, they go back to the slower, more pensive plays, Nate. And it doesn't work.
It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. And if they have that timeout, I want to see them call it. We have seen it now. Round. I thought that was PLANO calling it.
No.
I guess I could be wrong. That was a T side?
That was a T side timeout. What the? What?
Cynic. Okay, gets one.
What is PD on knife neckies?
I'm not sure. I didn't even notice that until you said what. I was like, what happened? That's very odd.
What?
I don't think there's any way we can get a replay of it, but I want to see it. They're tapping each other's shoulders. Cxzi's getting fired up right there.
Yeah, that's a good
He's
sign
yelling
for PLANO. But
yeah, we don't have the studio mics. I was hoping to hear some of it. We don't get to hear it, unfortunately, but he's firing up.
I'm still curious. Why the heck? How the heck do you knife your... I don't think that Cxzi was that low. Oh, no, he was. So a left click would have done
the spam down. Yeah, he was the one spam down.
Huh.
That's an interesting one. That's the most interesting team kill I've seen all tournament, and probably will happen.
And look how much utility Yell has now. None.
Could hurt them. Also could not. If the op again wakes up for Cxzi, he's now barely on the top of the scoreboard. Could work out. Cynic still has his trusty op at the price of potentially an AK for JazzPimp, who's on just the Deagle. And again, I hate to see that. You hate to see that, just given how things have gone, but they clearly have a game plan going into this Nouns. I want to see what they have planned. I want to see them get to that 15-15. I think anything short of overtime does this map injustice.
I agree. This deserves overtime. It's been a fun map so far. And Smoke's going to go out for Cxzi. They're still looking for some A pressure. I believe that's a top squeaky. Yeah, it is a top squeaky smoke for event drop. But there's going to be a little more smokes being thrown. Molotov top hut's going to actually force PDI out into the open. The taps from Cxzi, the spray comes through. And Nouns are just playing this one very slow. Time's going to become a factor again if they burn the clock down.
They're trying to find the op. The op's rotated around, though. They're the op's at ramp. Solo holding. It's now PDI on this A side, and he's the one firing the kill. Now they should know. They know PDI's that ramp hold, that ramp steadfast rifler. They should know something's up if he's on A, and so I want to see what the change is from Nouns. PDI finds another, and now the op of Cxzi could run rampant. No, they baited in. Cynic gets the read. Very well done from Nouns to find a way back into it, but the rotations from PLANO are going to be very quick and very swift. Nouns have to get the bomb down, and they have to have some very astute positioning if they want to hold this one down, if they want to come back into it. 3 versus 4. Kaike falls by B-Wills, who gets control of the ramp. JazzPimp now supporting the op as well. It's a full control room hold from PLANO on this retake. The barrel spotted. Good swing from JazzPimp. Made it. PDI, he started this round off. He has to finish it. 1 kill found, but he needs 2 more. And the control room flank, as you mentioned, so important. The Glock of Cynic gets it done. We are now going to overtime. We'll see who wins it after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We said anything short of overtime would be an injustice, and behold, we do have overtime between Nouns and PLANO. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and Boggs, the tension is palpable. It could not be higher between these two teams, and Nouns, looks like aggression might be on the docket again.
They got
Lots of early utility, and they got Cxzi down the vents. He's found success here before. They don't know he's here. Looks like they might have figured it out. And Piria, he does win the duel this time around. Piria has been a rock for this squad. I'd say he is the one keeping PLANO in it. Sure, the op of KNG's had its moments, but still, Piria consistently is finding the opening, consistently finding doubles as well. He is the one that is keeping PLANO competitive in this one.
Yeah, he's been able to get 1, 2, even 3 kills sometimes from one-and-done angles. That win against Cxzi is absolutely insane. Yell almost taking down JazzPimp too as the outer yard crunch is coming through. PDI's pushed all the way on through. Yell in Africa swaps to the 3, but he's taken some damage. Cxzi as well has eaten some as too, so he's not going to be full on HP. He's going to be a little bit wounded. A little bit more health than Cynic, but it's still not great. About even as you can get here in this 3-on-3 first overtime. Definitely need at least 1 T round if you are Nouns right now. Give yourself the best shot possible. It's been a while since they played on the CT side too. We'll see if they can repeat some of that early magic they had with that 6-0 start, that 7-1 start they had to kick off this map before PLANO woke up from their nap. Front mini smoke, but Cxzi is playing around it wide in the open. Nouns have not a lot of time. They're going to have to make a move here. KNG's in heaven. Smoke's going in towards front mini. Cxzi's boxed out by the smoke grenades. KNG holding the angle. Jeorge on the lurk outside, but it's KNG with the opening frag. Cxzi's inside. Jeorge will bypass him and actually walk onto the side, but in comes Cxzi. Jeorge gets tagged. Cxzi goes out. Cynic falls down. And Nouns, well, they were burning out the clock too late anyway. They really wouldn't have had a chance to win it. But it's another time where they play too slow. They play a little scared, and they can't get anything going.
Very solid hold from PLANO. Very good read as they gamble stacked over towards A. And it pays dividends in that case. Cxzi's were risky holding outside that smoke, as you mentioned, in the outside yard. In the end, though, he's bypassed and also finds the frag as the smokes expire. Very well done from PLANO, taking the first CT round. As you would expect, the CT half was kind of middling, right? I think it was an 8-7?
8-7.
It was an 8-7, so both teams slightly CT favored, but I would expect it to get more so as the overtime continues. Piria, another double. KNG, a third. B-Wills and Jeorge offering some resistance, tying it back up, but Kaike and Yell want to put this to bed. 2 versus 2 as they enter B. Yell's already down below them. Do they expect him to be in such an aggressive angle? I don't think so. Nouns, though,
do.
Back to the slow style. Back to a change of pace. And I think in a 2 versus 2, the slower style is far more serviceable for this team.
In this situation, I like the slow. There's a lot of time, and it's a 2-on-2 situation. So you can try and sweat PLANO out. You could try and catch the timing on them as well. They might actually get the timing. Oh, never mind. Both PLANO players are up towards the A side. B-Will's waiting for the smoke to go down. I believe they're going to throw the retake smoke here. But Kaike's working in through the outside. I believe he spotted something. He's very aware of the heaven position. And PLANO are pretty much entirely 100% sure that this is not going to be a B plant. Now they're even more so as the utility flies on through. Counter nades are going to be thrown, and Jeorge at the very least was aware of the potential flank, which has gone back towards midi. B-Wills is so low on health, though. He's got to get the bomb down here. He's going to stick it now. It will go down, but Jeorge has to cover unless B-Wills has something he could pull out of his hat. He's going to have to be a magician from back silo. Oh, Jeorge spots the first.
Oh!
B-Wills gets the second. Nouns get their T round. It's over about as soon as the retake begins. Crisp headshots from the Nouns boys. And it's all tied up at 16 all. But that's the critical 1 round on T. If Nouns win this one, this
They might steal it away.
is where things are awful for PLANO.
Yeah. Very well read from PLANO as well. They saw that things slowed down. They realized it might not be an outright play towards A, especially confirmed by Yell. And they played it quite well. They ended up grouping up over towards A before the bomb was even planted. I really do like the play. The nade almost coming to fruition as well, dropping the bomb planter, but it's just not meant to be. Now Cynic, he's feeling himself. He's picking out the big green, and he's going to drop the star player, KNG. Piria now, he has to be the rock. He has to be the star. KNG's out of the round, and will at least deliver with 1. Kaike now finds a second from Silo, and PLANO swing things back into their favor, but without their opper, can they get across the line?
Well, last round was a 5-on-2 that PLANO had. So just keep that in mind, Nate.
It's a very good point. Cxzi as well has had a very quiet end to map 1, same with B-Wills. If they can wake up, if they can get activated, It might be Nouns beginning to take this one back.
B-Wolves did it last round. Cxzi's turn now. JazzPimp's still outside, like T-spawn outside. They gotta move here. Last round they didn't get by playing slow. They got the trades back in a flurry.
They do still have a minute, though. Or thereabouts. About 45 seconds-ish. So a little bit. They're not down to the midnight oil. They're not burning the midnight oil like they have in prior. But the stake is still a little bit last second, as you mentioned. The key's flashed out. He's going to burn alive, but he'll still do his due diligence. Still finding one yell, though. The critical factor is now down to 8. Bidia, though. A rock for his squad, as I mentioned before, finds one. Can he do it now? That's the question. He's found the first. But he needs that bomb, and he knows Bidia is lurking in the back lines. The Molotov will at least abate him for the moment. The op of Yell. Totally unexpected here. I'm certain of it. And there we go. Yell does not miss his shot. And PLANO do take a very tenuous lead. 17-16 now going into their T side.
Yeah, Nouns only need 2 to take it to OT2. They're going to get the op for Cynic. It's their first time on CT in 18 rounds. A tactical timeout used by PLANO as well. I think this is very good, but it could also be a double-edged sword as it gives Nouns a bit more time to regroup. Like, all right, remember what we did well in that first half. Remember how we did things right in that first half. Support each other. Play off of each other. And don't give anything for free to PLANO.
And Cynic's already, he's considering it. He hasn't invested yet. We could see the big green on the CT side, which is far more serviceable, might I add. He should. He has won the duel a fair few times versus Cxzi, but specifically, he really did shine versus Cxzi on the CT. Also, want to highlight specifically a spot that he really did find a lot of success. I think it was once towards Hut and 2 or 3 times over towards the ramp. Yeah, so he might go for that once again, but I think PLANO want to change things up here. They want to do something different. Maybe a secret wrap instead of the outside wrap, something along those lines. I think PLANO, the main goal here should be to spice it up. Do something they didn't really do too much in regulation.
Now we'll see if they can do something crazy, something a little bit brazy. Bidia over top mini, and down goes JazzPimp. A little crazy, Nate. They already started off nice with the spice. Oh, Cxzi out from second vents, but B-Wolves has already fallen. This puts a lot of pressure on Danny and company. The leg shot onto KNG. The nade will follow it up, but only do damage to Kaike. Cxzi cannot swing here, but he gets taken down. He goes too aggressive. Nouns overthinking, over-aggressing, over-asserting. Gain something out of this round. PLANO looking to put this one on map point on the first round of T-side overtime. Would be great for them. It is their map pick after all. And I think they're a little disappointed to have this one slide all the way down to OT. Cynic in towards Hut. Might have himself a way back in. Jeorge and Cynic have found ways to win rounds from down players. So PLANO cannot rest easy yet. Good amount of time left and the bomb going down to the B side, but Jeorge is there. And these A players are just kind of making noise. Jeorge actually might rotate over though. If he doesn't... Oh, Cynic's clearing this out. He's seen nothing. And Jeorge is going down to B now. The bomb's going to go up the vents, though. It's going to be a full-on A play. Cynic's gone into Squeaky. KNG's on the angle. KNG reads that like a champion. And at this point, Jeorge shouldn't even go for anything. It's a 1-on-4, and it's MR3 10K. So only 10K for money. So the CT economy going to be a little rough. They're going to have to find a way to get an op over for Cynic. Probably Jeorge is going to drop that as he's the one with the most cash, and if he stays alive, he won't have to reinvest. It's the only way they can realistically get the op in hand. PLANO, though, have tightened the vice here. They've done good.
They did do something different. They enabled Bidia. We mentioned they want to enable the opper of KNG, and short KNG found some success there. A critical kill onto Cynic there towards the end to really cement the round, but what cracks it open is Bidia. That aggressive flank. There we go. Some flare coming in from Brazil. I wanted to see that, and we do get such a treat.
He's got 32 kills, man.
Yeah, he's the top of the team. He is the rock. He's the one consistently finding multi-kills, holding down ramp on the CT side, even holding down A at points when KNG wants to go that direction. He is a team player, and he's a team player that's finding tremendous success, whether it be the T or the CT side. Very well done. This is a standout performance from Bidia against Nouns.
Yeah, PDI definitely doing really well. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him moving forward. I liked what we saw from him against Team 1, but this is more of a star player performance, in a sense, with the rifle. He's able to hold the line on the T side, getting that opening pick, not afraid to take that Hut drop. And now, it's So a lot of outside control again from PLANO with a tuck in towards Africa from Cxzi, but his teammates have fallen away. They're starting to go towards ramp. There's nobody ramp at all. It's a secret, passive secret hold from Jeorge, and I think Cynic's holding all the way back towards CT spawn as well. B site is woefully undefended for Nouns, and I think Cxzi's going to hear the sound cues here. But what are they going to be able to do to stop this? It's a 5-on-5 retake of B. That is hell. Jeorge has to get 2. If he can, he's going to be able to do something out of this round. They're going to push down in. The Molotov's going to come through. Cynic actually finds 1. Counter molly thrown by Jeorge. And he's got an angle to Cxzi. You might push in here. The Molotov's flushing Jeorge further and further away. Counter flash is being thrown from both sides. Bomb going down in this 4-on-5. And it's hold time for PLANO. A little bit of damage taken. Sprays coming through. Cxzi not landing his initial shot. Needs to do a little bit more. Cxzi going to swing out to the open. Kaike goes down, but Cxzi traded. B-Will's one, only 1, 2-on-2. PDA still alive as well towards control. KNG's off, will strike again, and through the door. It cannot connect on the JazzPimp. Time, it's there. He can get the defuse, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And if he goes out of the frying pan, he's going to land in the fire. He can't even get out. It's going to be a 19-16 finish for PLANO on their map pick. They're loud, they're passionate, but is it enough? Best map for Nouns is up next. It is Inferno. And this Nuke map left a little bit to be desired for me from PLANO, especially when it came to some of what could have been the overpowering aim duels. We did favor them slightly, Nate. It was a very narrow victory in map 1. We'll get ready for map 2 after the break.